Hey everybody, I just wanted to send you a quick video on how to use Zoom as an instructor. So right now I'm logged in as an instructor and I have my personal account as my participant for this video's sake. So right now we're in what's called speaker view. So the screen shows a full picture of whoever is talking. Which would be me. So I am in here. You can also choose to do gallery view, and you can see over here is my phone, which is acting as my participant right now. And if there's more people, they come up in smaller blocks that go across the screen. So completely up to you. We're going to start down here. It's your bar. This has all of your options in it as an instructor. Or a host, a lead for the meeting. Here you can mute and unmute yourself. You can start and stop the video here. There's some more options if you, for example, have a built-in camera and an external camera. They would both pop up here and you could choose which one you wanted to use. You can also pick your virtual background from here if you wanted to use that. I do not have them on my computer just because they don't work well with MacBooks, but you feel free to play around with that. First, we are going to come here to invite. When you click invite, your meeting number pops up here, and I find that somebody entering this number seems to be the easiest way for them to join, but some people like the actual link that they can click, and if that's the case, you would hit Gmail here, because we all should have Gmails. You would click Gmail and it brings you to this page, which I'm not going to click it now because my internet's a little bit slow, but it brings you to this page. You type somebody's email in and send it. It actually opens up your Gmail itself by going that way. Here you have your participants. You see that it's actually a little bit different, called Manage Participants. And the way it pops up is they show up over here on the side. So this is me, the host, and this is my one participant. Others will obviously show up down farther. Here is where you find one of the most valuable tools of all, and it is the Mute All button. You will probably have to use this if you are in a meeting with multiple people, just because a lot of folks don't realize their microphone's on or how loud the background noise is. When you hit Mute All, it cuts everybody off. And they can turn themselves back on, but it's just nice to, when you have to kind of speak over everybody as the instructor and say, hey, let's all focus, whatever it may be, that is how you do that from there. Here as well is where you can see your participants interacting. So one interesting feature is participants can raise their hand. So you see I just raised my hand here. And as an instructor, this person has a question, this person wants to say something. That individual can either lower their hand or you can do it for them. So if you've already answered their question or they already spoke, I would suggest doing it for them, because a lot of times people will forget to lower their hand after they raised it, and then you don't know who has a question and who doesn't. So that's, again, personal preference, but just makes it a little bit easier keeping track of everybody. Next, close this. You click this little arrow and hit close if you want to close that out. So next is share screen. This you would be using a lot probably as a host. So when you click share screen, you're going to have a window that pops up that shows everything that you can choose from. So these are my open windows right now, and I have two desktops and I have two different screens. So this one's kind of irrelevant because it's just playing the video as it's going right now. This is my regular desktop, which I could share with everybody, and then all participants could see everything happening on my desktop. Well, I don't want to do that because maybe I have personal stuff on my desktop, and I just want to share with them the open website I have. So I'm going to double click this, and even though you guys can see my whole desktop, the participant view is only this one web page. That's it. So just keep that in mind if you want to just kind of have a little bit more privacy on your desktop. If you don't care, you don't care, but it's good to know the different functions of that. So from here, I can stop sharing by clicking this button, and I get a bar that pops up at the top here, kind of like my Zoom bar that I have access to. And one of the cool things on here would be the annotate button. So I can draw and I can say, pay attention to this number right here, and everybody can see it. And then I can, clear all the drawings, and it's just something you kind of want to play around with to get to know. It's definitely a nice feature to have. Another feature I want to point out that's in the screen sharing is whiteboard, which again, when it pops up as the participant, it's only the whiteboard, not the desktop itself. This is similar to what I just showed you, and you can write in it. It's a little difficult if you are like me and then just using a mouse, and it's very hard. But if you wanted to get fancy and you had a stylus, something like that, or if you're very good at using a mouse, this could work for you. So it's just a cool feature to have, and definitely to just play around with so you know what your options are. Next, we have chat. So here is where people can type messages. You can send a message to everybody, or you can send a message to an individual person. For example, I'll send something just myself. It says privately, so I know it's only going to that one person. I would advise against doing private messages in Zoom just because you can easily click the wrong person. You can click private and you meant to send to everybody, or the other way around. It just gets a little confusing sometimes. So if it's not something you feel like you can share with the entire group, I would just save it. Either send a text while you're on Zoom, or send them something after the meeting is over. Of course, it's your personal preference, but I've just found it tends to be a little less confusing than going through the privacy setting. So after that, the next option we have is record. Most of my videos record automatically, which is something that you can do in your settings, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But if you want to record a meeting, you just click this button, and you can record on the computer or to the cloud. I suggest always recording to the cloud. It creates a web link that is easily shareable. It doesn't take up space in your computer when you do it this way, and Zoom actually emails you the link for it, so it's always on your record for your account. So I think it's the easiest way to do it, and you can actually edit these videos as well. So if you have the first 40 minutes are recorded and nobody's talking or something, you can cut that off, and it'll fix your link. Finally, we have, I'm going to skip across some of these and go here. This is where you can stream live. You have to be connected to your Facebook account. So it would ask me to log in, which I'm actually already logged in on here, but I can go live on Facebook, share to my timeline, share to a group. So I can share to a friend's timeline, share in a group, share on a page I manage. So that's how you get to that. I want to exit out of because I don't want to go live on my personal Facebook at the moment. So I know quite a few people wanted to know how to do that, and anybody who's watched James Shaw, that's how you do it. Breakout rooms here is something I'm not really going to get into right now, just because it is more so for larger groups, or groups where a host wants to work or wants to separate people a little bit. So a breakout room, let's say you have 50 people in your meeting, you can put 10 people in groups of 5, and they're stuck in those rooms by themselves as just 9 other people. And you as a host can move from group to group and check in on everybody. Very, very cool feature. I'm still getting used to it a little bit. So if anybody is interested in breakout rooms and how they work, let me know and I can create an additional video just to be able to actually really show you guys. I have to have more participants in my example group. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you go into your, one last thing, if you go into your Zoom profile here, like your web page, and this is where it usually opens up. It's your profile, it's your home. Go down to settings on the side here, and this is how you adjust everything that you want. So there's so many options, and you kind of just have to read through them and see if it's what you want. But for example, I have somewhere on here like whiteboard. So here's one that's an example. You have to turn this on to have the whiteboard pop up, or in annotation too. So if you want to be able to do those features that I showed you, you have to make sure that they're turned on. So this is just something that if you have 10 minutes to go through all of these different functions, this is how you turn on the allowing live streams, because that's not automatically on. Just go through it and just feel out what you want for your account. So like I said, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope that this helped.